this has all the elements of an absolute classic. So this is section 4 of the men's singles draw, and as you can see, round 2, Kadambi, who we watched earlier, now will face off against Lu Guangzhou, and the winner of this match between Christo and Shi will face Magnus Johansson or Li Zijiao. So interesting matchups ahead in round 2 as the draw evolves here at the Adidas Arena at the French Open 2024. And here they come. And there's the home cheer for Christo Popov. Picked up his first World Tour title last week with a fantastic run in Germany, and finally dismissing Rasmus Gemke in the final in straight games as well. Up against Shi Yu Qi, who, well, he's had a fantastic run already in 2024, and really had a pretty decent enough 2023 as well. Of course, was in the World Tour finals, runner-up in the World Tour finals, but also first at the India Open and second at the Malaysia Open in 2024. So the world number 2 in an absolutely stellar run of form at the moment. And all in all in 2023, as we look at the head-to-head, which is 1-0 to Christo, believe it or not. China Masters last year.
Black for you, red for you.
Shi Yu Qi made 13 appearances of quarterfinals or further last year in 2023.
Have a good match.
Which I think is an absolutely unbelievable stat for him, but he's been in such a rich vein of form. Now the question is here, Chris. Christo Popov showed a lot of patience in his win against Rasmus Gemke in Germany last week. He's obviously got that aggression that has always been a kind of hallmark of his game. Can he do the business here against Shi Yu Qi?
And this is the big one. This is the big question. I mean, he was on court for 6 hours and 12 minutes last week, if you include his singles and doubles matches.
Wow.
Which is, you know, it's pretty ridiculous. How much does he have left in him?
Yeah.
You can see there, obviously, the birthplace, Sofia, Bulgaria.
That's right. Him and his brother, Toma Jr., who is already out, actually, was out on the first day. But the Popov brothers, they play doubles as well, of course, have, well, they've always been stalwarts of the World Tour. You always see them around. But now, maybe, perhaps, they can go just that little bit further as well if they need to. And so there is Shi Yu Qi, 28 years old. Highest ranking is his current ranking right now. But that's also, as I said, from that great run of events that he's participated in. So he was world number 2 in 2017. He's now world number 2 in 2024 as well. Triple gold medalist at the Sudirman Cup, silver medalist at the World Championships. Ivo Kassel's our umpire for this one. Joined by our service judge, Chris Yip. Both big players.
Ready to play?
And have that air of physicality, but I really do think that Shi Yu Qi's got that consistency in his game that might be able to oust it, and that's a great shot there, isn't it? From the home fans, one of the home fans. Getting a lot of appreciation from the mascot for this year's tournament. So as I said, for Shi Yu Qi, It was 13 appearances last year that were quarterfinals or further for Christo, while he was quarterfinalist at the China Masters, High-Low Open, made the European Games final, and also was a quarterfinalist in Singapore as well.
Ladies and gentlemen, on my right, Shi Yu Qi, China. And on my left, Christo Popov, France. Shi Yu Qi to serve. Love all. Play.
Well, as we said earlier, Tom Kekel and Delphine Delroux already through to the second round. I wonder if the French fans are going to be able to cheer another home player. They've started this match pretty sprightly, both of them, in this opening rally. And Christo gets the point.
Yeah, so many interesting things to talk about regarding Christo. But the first one is, I can't believe there's many players out there that have 100% win-loss ratio against the world number 2, Shi Yu Qi. But it's going to be interesting to see if physically he can maintain the whole match, because a simplistic tactical from Shi Yu Qi will grind the match out.
Well, even based on that opening rally,
yeah.
If it all went like that, it's going to be a big hour match, yeah. Oh, that's great placement by Shi Yu Qi.
Over. 1-all.
Forcing Christo to retrieve that from behind him.
Again, with Christo, obviously he's in quite a unique position where not the only player he's competing with, but it's kind of him and his brother competing against each other to try and get that spot for the Olympics.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Being a home Olympics, an even bigger one. And obviously the coach is your father. So it's such a unique one because you've got...
sounds like a Netflix
probably could be. And also, obviously, they're playing doubles together to try and qualify in the doubles as well. And it's such a unique situation. And as we saw when they brought up the statistic at the beginning, he was born in Bulgaria, and that's where his family originated from. And they're moving over to France. And, they've done incredible, his father especially, to produce 2 phenomenal badminton players down in the south of France. And that's where they're still based. They're not based at the National Centre in INSEP. Right. It's quite a unique story, as you
that's
said.
of course, because you did actually coach with the French team, didn't you? 2022, was it?
Yeah, so I was there for approximately a year coaching in INSEP, where the National Centre is. And the 2, is that just sneaked in?
Yeah.
Got a challenge here. But yeah, the 2 Popov brothers were always based in the south of France with their father. And, he's done incredibly well with them. And there's another player, Ronan Labar, who's in the men's doubles category, trying to qualify as well. That's kind of based in that area. Most of the other French players are predominantly based in INSEP. There's 1 or 2. Lucas Klerbach, who's also based at his club.
Honor Merkel.
He's based at in INSEP, the National
Alex
Centre.
Lanier.
Yeah, exactly. And then all the other doubles players are based in INSEP. But it's an interesting situation, having your father coaching you, competing against your brother, but then playing with your brother, being outside
it's
of
a
the
family
national,
affair, literally.
And, it could be, you're right, it could be a good Netflix story.
Yeah, it's a fantastic one. Hey, anyone listening, I want some rights on that, okay? Content creation, that's what it's all about.
The other big thing is with Christo, he's 21. I think often we all forget that, because I feel like he's been around for 4 or 5 years. Just because he was such a high level at such a young age that he did burst onto the scene at kind of 18.
Well, right now he's definitely trying to push Yu Qi. He's keeping him penned back on that back line. And that's a great winner.
Absolutely brilliant. Placement, calm, composed, incredibly accurate.
Yeah.
3-2.
This is the thing, when you look at the rankings, I mean, they're kind of irrelevant, because you've got Christo ranked 23 in the world against
Shi Yu Qi
ranked 2. But, you would never know that looking at these 2 players.
Yeah, absolutely.
Also, you wouldn't know that Christo played for 6 hours and 12 minutes last week.
Yeah.
Because he's come out and he's moving okay, looking reasonable, but it's only going to tell later on in the match.
That's the benefit of being a 21-year-old, really. I mean, there is that shot, but also, he's also his determination and his desire to succeed. which only would have been boosted after that win in Germany last week. So,
and always home tournament, it never gets any better, you know.
Thank you.
This is the memory. You're right. This is
the
memory he's going to.
He's got all these people that really, really want him to win, and often the French crowd, I've got to give it to them, they're, you know, very passionate people when it comes to cheering. And often it's very noisy. Really get behind their players.
Well, 3-all. Absolutely nothing between them in the end so far. That's another great winner. He's getting a lot of reward in that left corner.
4-3.
He's getting there. He's getting up. He's taking the game on. You know, he's the one at the moment that's being proactive. He's getting to the shuttle early. He's controlling the game. Obviously, we're only at the very, very beginning of the match, but part of that for me is confidence from last week.
Yeah.
You know, to do that against the world #2.
Yeah, it's just burning through it. It looks right now as if Popov has literally just been waiting to step on court since then.
Thing is, for me, I remember seeing Christo when he was very, very young, sort of 15, and it was obvious he was going to be quite special. And I think he's kind of shown it, but not quite shown it over the last, you know, he's obviously shown moments of absolute brilliance. You know, beat Shi Yu Qi. There's loads of players he's beaten, but last week was kind of the first time where he backed it up, and just kept going and proved to everyone he can do it, you know, match after match after match after match.
Because it's one thing to win a match. It's another thing to win 5 or 6.
You've got to back up that result. And not everyone, but a lot of players out there can beat a good player, but can you do it first round, second round, you know, and so on for a full tournament?
And of course, once you get to 750 1,000, that run of 5 players you have to beat are some of the best in the world, right? If not, you know, Victor Axelsen in this case has already started well, I think. In fact, I think he might still be waiting for his...
They played yesterday, Victor,
did he win? Yes, I'm sure he did.
Yeah, he did, yep. 2 games.
So he's definitely waiting for someone in this draw. Fast tempo to this match. And it's all Popov's idea. Shi Yu Qi definitely would rather prefer it at a more leisurely pace.
That's the thing, if you give Shi Yu Qi time. Time on that overhead, wow. So crisp and clean that shot here, and you see all the time, it's a bit short as well, but the accuracy of overheads in men's singles is phenomenal. I mean, you can literally hand place the shuttle on the line.
Christo, can you check, please?
Well, Christo being reminded to get back on court, and he's looking lively.
Okay, thank you.
The younger of the 2 Popov brothers.
Five, 4.
And there's that famous, wonderful, wonderful shot. Dropped into acres of space, and it made his opponent look like a statue. Look at that.
I think the hard thing is when you slow that down, obviously it doesn't really look as deceptive, but that's got to be incredibly deceptive to send the world. You know, Shi Yu Qi is fast. World #2, phenomenal player, send him totally the wrong way. That only comes with the confidence that, you know, Christo got from last week.
Oh, what a fake, though. It's all about the racket head.
Service over.
Shi Yu Qi still finding a fair bit of ground with this cross court, right to left.
The other thing just to think about is no matter what happens in this match, if Christo maybe doesn't win, he's still definitely got a men's doubles later. Yeah. You know, and this is the really hard thing he's got. He's trying to qualify in men's singles and men's doubles, which is not, except for his brother, no other players out there trying to do that. It's a big challenge and a big task. 2 ways of looking at it. You could say it's more fatigue in the legs and it's going to hinder his singles, or you could say, but it gives him another chance out there to get used to the conditions and feel comfortable and play and learn and experience and improve.
Well, there aren't many players that you see. Obviously, I'm now saying this with the knowledge that Seo Seung-jae went off and won, you know, double gold at the World Championship last year. But there aren't many people that successfully execute 2 different disciplines.
No, and it's a big challenge just because it's, you know, double the matches, and
Yeah.
if you are a player that is going through the rounds in both categories, it takes a lot out of you, and also you know you can only train for one event, if you understand what I mean, at one time.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you know, for Christo, if
And
he's
they're
training
two
for
completely
singles,
different,
he's not training for doubles then, and if he's training for doubles, he's not training for singles. So generally, players will have a slight preference over their discipline. You do have some exceptions, like as you said, Xiao He, who's phenomenal at both. I mean, winning a world gold at two
but they're both
disciplines.
also two doubles disciplines.
Yeah,
that's
which is
the
a lot
thing.
more common. A singles and a doubles, or a singles and a
You see a lot of singles players that end up being doubles players but never go back to singles again.
Yeah, you see a few that will swap just because that's perfect, absolutely perfect.
Absolutely wonderful.
They might realise that they were slightly better suited to the doubles discipline. But yeah, you'll never see a player go from doubles to singles. I think one of the best examples, Joachim Fischer, he was a good singles player. Not phenomenal, but a very good singles player, and then he moved to doubles, and then he found his
groove, basically.
Yeah, mixed doubles, you know, absolutely unbelievable mixed doubles player.
Well, right now, Christo Popov on serve, 6-8. Well, just returning a shuttle to court 3 by the looks of it. So not only is he a doubles player and a singles player, he's also got great service judge awareness. But he's really trying to push the tempo in this match, and I think that's what you need to do against Shi Yu Qi. Just cut down that amount of time he's got. He's got the shot-making quality, obviously, Shi Yu Qi, but I think if you rush him, then you might be able to get the jump on him, and he's done that a couple of times.
Yes.
Gets caught there, brilliant placement, but you can see it's flat, it's obvious. It's just that last shot that Christo played, the quality wasn't quite good enough. Except for that, though, before that in the rally, Christo played well. He took an advantage where he tried to get on it early. Just that last shot.
Yeah.
Quality
and
wasn't good
it's
enough.
interesting to note that even with this increased tempo, even with this increased desire from Popov, that Shi Yu Qi is still, with shots exactly like that, managed to create a 4-point lead. Wonderful down the line.
It's the thing, it goes back to what I said earlier. I mean, the accuracy, literally. You're talking, look at that. On the slight, or either on the middle of the line, or, you know, a fraction. That's how accurate the men's singles players are at the moment. I think they're more accurate than if I tried to put it on the line myself, with my, you know, with my hand.
With a laser sight. Yeah, it's all about touch, it's all about feel, and so of course all about doing it about 40,000 times in a training hall. But to have that feel and to have that touch and display it again in a match, that's special. Oh, just snatched at that one though.
Yes, just a slightly cheap mistake because he got himself into exactly the position he wanted.
Yes.
And Christo was in quite a lot of trouble here. See, they're slightly wrong-footed.
Yeah. Left that a bit high.
And there.
Well, you just saw when he was moving through, his entire action was a little bit off, and that just sums it up with his face. Even the best, the top 3, sometimes really unimpressed with their swings. Wonderful from Christo.
That's what we saw last week from Christo. His attack, phenomenal. He's very quick player, but the placement there.
For Christo, it's the top left corner, and for Yu Qi, it's the bottom left corner, but both of those, that left side, has been working out well for the players, and that's where they've been focusing on accruing their points. But still, Yu Qi two ahead as we head to the mid-game interval.
8-10.
Oh, nicely done by Christo. Held his ground well.
And that is one of the advantages that Christo will have, just because from being a doubles player as well, his mid-court, how sharp he is. And you saw there, really sharp in the mid.
Service over. 11-9 interval.
Shockingly accurate. Wow, Christo now just holding his side. And I hope that it's just a shirt. And that at the mid-game interval, 11-9 down.
Prima una филето спин да го накараш да дигне първата. Чули?
Ще дигна средата, той тук всеки път линията.
Не, ма дигни му в другия ъгъл, ма малко по-плоско, дигаш ги високи и първата се спира.
Еми, защото ме страх изгледането на това.
Ако шнуратури играе или първи спин, или в левия ъгъл, оттатък, от тази страна е по-малко опасен. Обаче трябва да внимаваш, не те скъсеят ги пре отзад, само го спри пред тебе или бърз диагонал, не му повтари само едно и също отзад. Чули?
20 seconds.
Държи го. Айде.
11-9. Play.
Well, Chris, how's your Bulgarian?
It's unfortunately as poor as my Mandarin.
Well, funnily enough, I was actually hoping it was going to be in French because I would have been able to get a general understanding of that.
Yeah, I know that they often speak in their native tongue, and it's interesting. I think Christo, I don't think his reading or writing is phenomenal in Bulgarian, but his obviously his communication is perfect. Just because he didn't learn it as such. It was just what he heard from a young age.
Well, he's absolutely bounding around this court at the moment. I wonder, even at 21 years old, if he can keep this intensity up.
This is the thing. I mean, he can't, can he?
He can't. I mean, that would be.
We'll have to check he's a human if he does. Check he's not a machine, because from what he put in last week, I mean, he had a 1 hour 40 match, and already what he's putting in so far here, I mean, it's 11-10, very, very, very competitive, 15 minutes.
Well, I think that developing a machine to test if badminton players are cyborg after Answer Young last year, I think that's now in development.
This is the thing, as you said, 21.
Yeah. No, I mean, 21, you have that enthusiasm, you have that desire, but that doesn't mean you know your body well enough.
But I think you don't know. Nothing's to stop you, if you know what I mean. You're so young, you're almost a bit naive, and you can just keep going and keep going and keep going.
Quite happily run yourself smiling into an injury, you know?
This is the phenomenal thing with Christo. Obviously, the condition he's in is,
Well, even for, I said, for a 21-year-old, he's in peak physical condition. I'm just a bit worried at the beginning, when he walked off to the interval, he was clutching his side. And when we saw the replay, it looked like there was a slight grimace. So I hope that he's not playing through any fatigue. Of course, on that racket side, he's left-handed, as you said.
13-10.
Slightly short that way. Christo's gone over.
Well, Shi Yu Qi is still finding this really, reliable source of points down the line. I mean, it looks like he can entertain these rallies, but when he wants to finish it off, then 3 times out of 5 he's going to do it. And that's why he's 3 points ahead still. Popov has been winning, and it's certainly not just been sporadic. But there's something about that accuracy. That's a very, very deep clear for Shi Yu Qi. He was lucky to get away with it, really.
Christo did incredible to get himself out of trouble, the way he whipped it over Shi Yu Qi, and then he stepped up, did everything right, and just forced it.
It just looked like he was going to win that point for a second because of that.
Yeah, I mean, Christo Day just tried to play slightly too good a shot.
So 14-10. Quick look as to where Popov was.
Wow.
Oh, what a great shot.
Service over.
And there, Christo, I mean, great cross there. Look, he reads it. He just steps in, takes that early, and the composure, and then the actual quality of that shot was exceptional.
That's the other thing about being 21 years old. You're not scared of anything. You literally run headfirst into a wall. And to take that gamble with that shot where Shi Yu Qi was is just a testament to it.
15-11.
On the whole, I said Shi Yu Qi is still going to be happy enough with the fact that he hasn't really been troubled with this 4-point lead, and they are both running out of points in this first game. Oh, that looked like it may have been shading out, had all the space in the world to fire that one off.
16-11.
Great setup by Yu Qi.
Yeah, and it does feel a little bit like now it's just starting to grow, the discrepancy between the two players. Quite often now, Shi Yu Qi's getting in a good position, he's getting the attack, he's on balance, and it's hard then for Christo to kind of contain that and stay in the rally.
Yeah.
And often now the points that Christo's winning, they're moments of pure brilliance. But obviously you can't win a match on brilliance because there's so few and far between.
Yeah, that's it. That's it exactly. There's, you know, there's, or as they say in football, there's cup wins and then there's the league. Exactly when it comes down to, you need that consistent output. And you can't just be winning on the day. And that translates to shots.
11.
And that's really the difference what we're seeing here. Shi Yu Qi may be bested with some real highlight shots from Christo, but his overall output in this game has led to a 6-point lead.
A lot of that is just a few simpler mistakes creeping in from Christo, and that can be, oh, that's absolutely perfect.
Inch perfect, yeah.
Yeah,
11.
I mean, deception, hold, neck cord, and the shuttle ends up on your own side. You know, look at that. Absolutely, yeah, I mean, phenomenal. But now, obviously, it's growing. It's obvious Christo is a bit tired, it's obvious, but those mistakes just creeping in, they also come from mental fatigue, not just physical fatigue.
Yeah. Well, the crowd has been quietened, that's for certain. Oh, Shi Yu Qi clearing up really well. And now on the attack. Oh, again.
Brilliant.
And that's the problem, because you've got Christo that is going to get very tired running back and forth and around the court. Shi Yu Qi is now beginning to predict where he's going to be and then fire off that. And I said, well, there's a challenge coming, but I really think he's going to be lucky.
Well, the line judge actually did call it out, which I was a bit surprised by, yeah, because it was a long way in. I think maybe the line judge was slightly unsighted.
Yeah, that's extremely in.
It's a good challenge from Shi Yu Qi.
That is extremely, extremely in. So 19-12.
Service over.
This is the thing we said before the game. Now, it's such a big challenge for Christo to
18.
consistently, you know, manage this fatigue. And this is what he has struggled as the game's gone on. It's kind of grown a bit more and a bit more and a bit more. Oh no, what's the umpire doing here? Oh no, the umpire's had a...
Yeah, I have a funny feeling that that's it, 19-11. I was just about to say that Shi Yu Qi would feel pretty aggrieved if he had a challenge that was successful and his points didn't go up by 1.
And do you know what?
Exactly what happened.
I really, really like that, because I was a bit worried then they were going to get it wrong, because the umpire was quite adamant. But thankfully, the service judge discreetly identified to the umpire, hold on a sec, that is Shi Yu Qi's point. So fantastic from the service judge there to just make that discreet kind of, whatever you want to call it.
Well, it is, oh, what a return. Oh, if that had been in, if that had been in.
Yeah, just for the service judge obviously to identify it to the umpire and then the umpire to quickly get on with it and rectify it, because things like that.
19.
Yeah. Well, that's why service judges are there. I said it's very easy to get lulled into this wonderful play that you see on court, but setting up the court, adjudicating the game, the rules of badminton are so strict in places, and it's good to see knowledge like that. So 8 game points, and Shi Yu Qi's going to, I think, be a little bit more calm and free-flowing in the second game, but I fully expect him to take this game. Well, he knows how to keep Christo running. You know.
Service over. 13-20.
Got attempt at that cross drop, but didn't work out for him. That's a bit high. And bit of a misread from Yu Qi. So 2 game points saved. Oh, it's a nice return by Christo. But that's just too steep and too class from Shi Yu Qi.
First game won by Shi Yu Qi, 21-14.
21-14.
Court 1, 20 seconds. Court 1, 20 seconds.
So back on court. Game 2. Shi now playing into the drift.
Second game.
Oh, Christo's going to have to watch.
Play.
He clears to the back. But interestingly enough, Chris, talking about fatigue, incremental fatigue on bodies, that first game took 24 minutes.
Yeah, and it's so important for Shi Yu Qi to start this second game in a strong way, just because then it's almost like he's trying to cancel out any belief that Christo will have. And
yeah, kill it psychologically as well.
And it, you know, it might make a 5% difference. That's massive at the elite level. 5%, massive. Even 2% sounds silly, but that's a lot.
No, well, I think you're right. If you're one game up, what you need to do is, I'm a big fan of mercilessly, basically, you know, kneecapping your opponent in the mind and on court as well. Go for the kill.
The mind is such a powerful thing that we don't even realize, but sometimes it can stop us without us fully, you know, acknowledging that. And when you see confidence oozing from your opponent, when you see your opponent what appears to be doing everything right, it gives you that little bit of negativity that you don't even appreciate, but that stops you, it holds you back.
Yeah, it's going to be very easy to do that in this case, because after this great bit of doubles defense we saw just then, you just get the feeling if Shi Yu Qi goes 5, 6 points up, that Christo's going to start clutching at straws. He's going to start looking at ways to break that down, and that's going to leave him more open. Yeah, the easiest way is almost to think, you know, when you look at a mountain that you have to climb, it looks very scary, but when you're right at the top of the mountain, you've got another 5 steps. It's a piece of cake. And the bigger the mountain for Christo is, in the bigger the lead that Shi Yu Qi gets, the more complicated it looks to even try and figure out a way out. Well, 3-love. He managed to at least keep kind of pace as much as he could until about halfway through that first game, and then once Shi Yu Qi got to about 4 or 5 points ahead, then a little bit more of the desperation turned up. But right now, look at the high line that Yu Qi's holding. And he made a mistake there, but he's confident enough to stand up there and go toe-to-toe with Christo. Here after that point, the crowd just trying to get a little bit more involved, because they have been just a little bit quiet so far, but mainly because Shi Yu Qi's been brilliant and not giving the crowd a chance. It's not shocking at all what's happened. the ultimate truth is this is a world number 2 playing against a world number 27. That's the fact of the matter. And you know, the context of it based on the win last week and the nature of it is one thing, but there is a huge difference between Super 300 and Super 750.
Speed. Can't see it because we're seeing Christo here, but look at this. He's out of balance. Look at how late he's taking it. When he takes it that late, it gives Shi Yu Qi that chance. And then there, he's so early. It's impossible for Christo to be able to get that.
Yeah, and it's just so delicate in the touch. But as I said, we got winners. I mean, Mia Blichfeld just earlier lost to He Bingjiao in straight games as well. Of course, He Bingjiao, top 5 player. You've got Christo, won in Germany, and that's the big difference.
5-1.
Comes down to it. There is a huge range of skill and quality when it comes to the top 3, top 5 in men's singles and women's singles. It's pretty amazing. Well, 5-1 up and looking pretty comfortable, even though that looked like it was shading out. Christo probably should have left that.
1.
You see now, even in Christo's body language, it's really hard. It's hard for him to stay really positive and...
Absolutely, even his father as well. We just saw a shot of his father, and I think he's resigned to the fact that this is going to be a very tough ask. Remember, Shi Yu Qi now playing on the slightly better side of the court. He can really open up for a number of reasons, not just into the drift, but also with that confidence of being 1 game up. Christo trying.
This is the thing when you just
forced errors,
when you just don't even watch the shuttle and you just watch the 2 players individually. You know, there's one player that is significantly out of position more than the other, which is Christo. He's having a couple more court. Yeah, he's the one chasing, and
but it's so different from the first 5 points of the match, definitely. Where they looked like
50-50.
They were, absolutely 50-50. That's
Christo came out looking unbelievable, and he was still riding the confidence, still riding the wave, but. I think there's a little bit.
Now he's chasing.
He is definitely a little bit of fatigue's obviously crept in, and Shi Yu Qi is just showing his, you know, his class.
It's top 3 class. That's what it is. I mean, and you look at the likes of, I'll even go as far as Ginting and Christie as well. They have that pattern around the court, and when they get into it, it's almost like a dance that they're doing. But it means within that dance that they can reach any point in that court, and they can. Their shot variety, the quality and consistency of each of the shots is good enough. It's not perfect, but it's good enough. So when you add that to, you know, the body build of a 6'4" Victor Axelsen moving at speed. Oh,
service over.
That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
That's the top of the game right now.
Look at that neck cord, and Christo does unbelievable to get it back, but...
That reaction just there makes me wonder a little bit here. Ankle, perhaps?
It's just fatigue. Yeah, you can see from that expression there, puffing the air out. He's starting to run out of ideas of what to do, because when you're half a step, half a pace behind your opponent, it's very hard to be able to control the match, because you're always trailing, as in even in the rally. And your opponent's kind of 1 step further ahead, so you have to almost try something special, and that's often when someone does that it goes wrong, because you try something too much that you can't really do.
I can see that half step you're talking about. He is definitely chasing the shuttle now. Shi Yu Qi's almost plumb right on the tee, just replying until he sees his option. That's a great shot by Yu Qi. That's an even better shot. Oh, it's just gone wide.
But yeah, you can see, and this is why for me, Shi Yu Qi, he is playing very, very well, but he's looking quite calm. And when you see your opponent, you know, it's obvious, you see your opponent become more and more tired, and you don't feel tired, gives you that extra little bit of confidence that you just relax just a fraction, not too much that you become complacent or passive, but you just relax and you just play the shots that you should play rather than being tense.
Oh, look at the vicious dip on that last shot. He was only a couple of centimeters off.
Service over.
So there's just a little bit of bad luck for Christo. That's what I mean about these tiny little percentage differences.
Well, most consecutive points, 5 for Shi Yu Qi, 3 for Christo. That, of course, was in the first game. And a 6-point lead here as we approach the second mid-game interval, and things looking very comfortable for the world number 2. I just think Christo's going to tire himself out even more if he keeps to this, because now he's hitting a solid brick wall.
Brilliant block, brilliant.
That was very nice, though.
And this is the big challenge, obviously, as we mentioned earlier. He's got his doubles later, and he's got a very tough men's doubles, but he's right on the cusp of possibly being able to qualify in the men's doubles as well. So, such a big ask for a player to play singles and doubles.
Well, this is where Big Brother's got to do you a favor, right?
Yeah.
He's got to step up. Well, I have big brothers, and they've never done me favors, so basically I can't see that happening. Add that to your Netflix script. There's a good one. Sibling rivalry.
You know, it would be very interesting to see how their father, Thomasini Popov, how he manages, obviously, the challenge that he has of his 2 sons, battling it out for the Olympic qualification. Because that's a very complex situation to be in, and a very unique one as well.
Well, as a father, to have 2 sons at the Olympics, wow, that's, after all the work that he's put in since they were born, amazing. Anyway, good little burst of form here from Popov, couple of points. Making this serve work for him. Deathly accurate from Shi Yu Qi again.
Service over.
Actually, I have to mention something slightly off context, but linked with Shi Yu Qi, I saw a clip of him singing very recently, and I have to say I was quite impressed.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
He was singing an English song as well, so I could understand it. And
he's a man of many talents.
He actually had it sounded like a really good voice. I was quite surprised.
Well, he's had a charmed life when it comes to badminton as well. I mean, this is, of course, his second stint at being world number 2. Was banned for a year as well.
Yeah.
Let's not forget, was known as the bad boy of badminton for a bit. But that's a wonderful little counterpoint that he's actually got a great singing voice. Man of many talents.
10-5.
Maybe in the not too distant future, we might see him also bring a song out, as we did with Wang Qilin.
That would be amazing.
You can see here the pace difference between the 2 players now. It's just growing.
Yeah, and, just the way Shi Yu Qi tracked back then, just knew the trajectory of the shuttle. He knew exactly that, he'd have to track back and kind of keep an eye on it, but it wasn't going anywhere. So at the second mid-game interval, 11-5, and Shi Yu Qi is looking in good stead.
我打不死我熬一下，然后下面一个球再缓一缓，对吧？然后你要是实在是顶住了以后，让我就骗分，发接发，看看我怎么能抓1分11分，然后下来再慢一点，好吧？但是还是要严谨度，还是在场上，他会放的，我只要顶住他，你看他基本上他也会接 YS 什么东西，好吧？再坚持坚持，好。
So, 11-5, back on court for this second phase of action in game 2, and really this, unless we see an absolutely stunning display from Christo,
Service over.
Has that air of inevitability about it again.
This is the big challenge for Christo now. He's going to have to take a few more calculated risks, because it's very hard for him to contain Shi Yu Qi. So unless he does something a little bit different, or shot selection is a bit more adventurous, or takes a few more calculated risks, it's going to be hard for him to maintain this.
Service over. 12-6.
calculated risks is a great term. And I think you're absolutely right, but you know, when it translates to it, isn't that going to be pretty risky to change even what he's already doing?
At 100%, but the thing is, if he doesn't,
yeah, then it's
very hard
over.
to see. Exactly.
Yeah.
So this is why it is a big challenge, because whenever you have to change something, it's difficult. So if you're losing, you've got to change something to...
Especially on the fly as well. You've got to do it during the game.
When you're doing against Shi Yu Qi, who's moving well, looking good, playing well, it's a really big challenge. And how adventurous do you go? This is the complex bit about it, because you go too adventurous, you give your opponent a gift and they win the point even more easily. But when you watch rallies like this, it just feels really difficult to see how Christo can maintain this.
Yeah, well, you just look at where Shi Yu Qi's feet are. Is literally circling around that tee. That's all he has to do, the middle tee.
And then we say that, and you know, Christo somehow managed to bleed a point, but who kind of lost more in that rally? And by what I mean is, who is more fatigued after rally?
Exactly. That's what I mean. Christo is running around to the point that he's actually going to jeopardize future points. But in the same way, he can't now just sit back and be calm, because Shi Yu Qi is going to take him apart on the flanks.
It's important for the crowd to do what they're doing, you know, trying to give Christo the extra 1-2% of belief, encouragement, motivation.
So, 7-12. Oh, caught wrong-footed there, Christo. His footwork just looks a little bit more reactive now. Oh, wonderful dip on that from Shi Yu Qi. Oh, and that's great, past him. Down the line.
That's a brilliant, brilliant rally from Christo. If you look at his body language after the point, it's kind of more thankful than, you know, like...
relieved.
Yeah, more relieved.
Yeah, it's
you know,
absolute.
Relieved the rally's over just because. But, I mean, brilliant rally. And it kind of brings him back into it, 12-8.
But it's a long way back from here against a player of this caliber. Oh, that's sharp play from Christo.
Incredible defense there from Shi Yu Qi, showing his double skills.
Oh, just misses it. Idea was solid.
Again, though, now Christo, he's just putting a little bit of doubt in Shi Yu Qi's mind.
Oh, it's all about the doubles on the other courts. Kim Won-ho, Zhong Na-eun in action. Zhang Zhenbang, Wei Yazin, Liu Shengshu, Tan Ning. Both of those two, the latter, of course, former winners, and looking to be the first Chinese pairs to actually do back-to-backs here at the French Open. Christo trying to muster up one last charge to push him over the line. Hopefully create a third deciding game. But look at how accurate Shi Yu Qi is. Wow.
What a rally.
Well, that's unbelievable stuff, and it's another great drop. And that's brought a smile to his father's face and to all the French fans here at the Adidas Arena.
Christo did so well to pick that up. Lovely bit of finesse there.
That's absolutely class.
You can see in the background, Senior Popov was off his chair. It looked like he wanted to get on court.
Well, that really is amazing stuff.
This is the thing now, the crowd's coming alive. It's a bit of belief now in Christo.
Well, he's 2 points behind.
10-12.
The real question's going to be, can Shi Yu Qi last through these next 2-3 points? That'll push him over to 15. That's a wonderful reply from him.
Over.
Yeah, and it's the You know exactly what Christo didn't want. A moment of pure brilliance from Shi Yu Qi. Lovely reception, that hold. It's the thing Christo had to work so hard to win that last point, and then
just kills that narrative that was building with the finger up, right? It kills that comeback, nips it in the bud.
It was also such an easy point for Shi Yu Qi. He didn't have to put any effort in. No physical expenditure.
Oh, he's been good at that. In terms of economic efficiency of energy, Shi Yu Qi has been exemplary in this match. He's just been really good, especially in this second game. I told you, he's hardly moved off the tee. And he's just making Christo do all the work. Oh, that's, again, wonderful.
Christo's doing so well to stay in this rally.
Yeah. Oh.
No way.
No, for a second it looked like he had it. It's another brilliant rally.
Goodness.
Can you believe it? Oh my.
Two of those pickups were absolutely phenomenal. That great turn there. It's his favourite, that cross court. This is the thing, Christo, you know, he's giving everything.
Yeah, he just looks like he's about to fall over after every point now. I just hope he doesn't jeopardize the rest of his week. I mean, winning this, getting to the second round, and then getting, you know, taken out by the likes of Magnus Johansson or Lee Zijia. So, Shi Yu Qi having to
11-30.
weather out a bit of a Popov storm at the moment. It's the way Shi Yu Qi watched that fly out. It's not the fact that it did. It's the way. That's psychological warfare right there. Just, oh, we're not going to get to see it.
You can see Christo, he's like pushing himself to the total extreme. Down on the floor there,
No, this is
so
it,
late and in trouble.
And the way he watches it fall. Just that little knife in at the end. 14-11.
14-11.
Oh, he's still clawing back.
12-14.
Nothing he could do about that one.
15-12.
Oh, absolutely outfoxed. Almost in. He's going to call a challenge for that. I think he'd be lucky. Wow. If this is called in, that might be one of the shots of the day. Almost willing it in.
Challenge unsuccessful. One challenge remaining. 16-12.
Well, no surprise that that is unsuccessful, and that's a key point for Shi Yu Qi. 16-12. Calm responses from the world number 2.
Brilliant.
Great drop again.
It's definitely Christo's best shot, and that forehand corner when he plays that slice is so deceptive, it's so hard to see.
16.
Really effective last week, and that is just brilliance. And the quality of it. This is the thing, in the second game, Christo was 11-5 down, and apologies, actually it was 11-6 down, but I have to, no, it wasn't, yeah, 11-6, sorry, yeah. And I did start to feel, could he possibly get this back? But
yeah.
since the break, the way he's come back in is absolutely incredible with what he's got left in the tank.
I didn't expect it. I didn't expect it based on the fatigue that is obvious in certain areas of his game. But I think there's just that desire to win. That's the thing, and that's always been one of the hallmarks of him. So that's coming through. But Shi Yu Qi has never been troubled with this 4-point lead. He's got close, got it down to 2. But running out of points again in the second. He's always there with that reply. I get the feeling when I'm watching Christo Popov, it's like he's playing a video game at times, and Shi Yu Qi on the other side is just, you know, the AI that is basically just replying his shots, seeing how far he can get stretched. Which is actually a great image, because I said you're always going to side with the human player as opposed to the the cold kind of unemotional pattern of Shi Yu Qi. Well, the hearts go out to you, Christo.
14-17.
That's it.
Is over.
There's that accuracy again.
14.
And the big thing is, any of the cheat points that have happened, which, to be fair, in the second part of the second game hasn't been a lot. It's probably 2 or 3, but they've all gone the way of Shi Yu Qi. Every time Christo's winning a point, he's having to work so hard to win that point.
Yeah. Absolutely. Well, he's down. That's going to go.
As I say that, it's a gift from Shi Yu Qi. It's absolute commentator's curse.
Well, one thing I did notice about that shot, even though it was out, it did actually bend in at the end. And I wonder if there is a little bit more of a sizable left-right sideways drift at the top end of the corner. The court. Oh, he's left that well. 2 points away now.
19-15.
No look clear from Christo. Shi Yu Qi again, just doing what he needs to do to keep this rally alive, and then kills it. So that's 5 match points for Shi Yu Qi. It's been a valiant effort from Christo.
The last shot there from Shi Yu Qi, fantastic placement, beautiful cut.
Well, he's left that one as well. So 21-14, 21-15. And Shi Yu Qi through in 54 minutes. And just that duration for this game in straight games, 21-15, 21-14, 54 minutes, just shows you the quality and depth of some of the rallies that Christo Popov engineered. But the world number 2 comes through.
21-15.
And will now face either Lee Zijia or Magnus Johansson in round 2. So bows all around. And there's confirmation of it. 54 minutes, 21-14, 21-15, and the world number 2 is through.